Hello, Capulus. Capulus, is it right? Do I say it right?
It.
Okay,
That's
perfect.
right.
Hello, Capulus. Thank you for your time tonight for me. This is for whole band.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
All of us.
perfect, cool. Thank you for having time for me as a whole band. Usually I don't talk with so many people. Can you please introduce yourself? Who you are, what you do in the band, and maybe a little bit of your musical background. I don't want to overstretch it because, we might run into time issues or something. So just say who you are, what you do, and maybe why you do it, your musical background a little bit.
Ladies first.
Ladies first, exactly.
Introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Alex Dani. I recently
Can you come a little bit closer to the mic? Now
sorry.
it's a little bit apparent.
So I'm Alex. I joined the guys just in September. Yeah. So we have this exciting passion for music, and I come from Sardinia, and basically I've been in music since 2006 when I started to play for the first time, and here I am.
And what do you play?
I play bass guitar.
Okay, cool. Bass guitar. Yeah.
So we're doing the European side of it. So,
Of course, UK is not Europe, right?
yeah.
Not anymore.
I'm Giacomo. I'm from Sardinia as well. I'm from a village right next to Alex's. We actually played together quite a long time ago. I started playing when I was 7. I used to play another instrument. So I used to play clarinet.
Okay.
And then when I was 14, I switched into drums. Quite a long time ago now, but actually I moved into England. What was it? 2017, and then I joined Capulus 2 years and some few months ago. I played the drums.
Okay, cool.
I'm Josh. I'm born and bred here in England. Not got quite an exciting background as the rest of them. Myself and Tom started the band when we were probably about 16 years of age, so a long time ago now. We're originally from a little sleepy town in Devon called Kingsbridge, and that's where we started writing the music that started the whole process. And then we've hopped around the place a lot, different cities, and then we've decided to make our home here in Bournemouth. And when we moved to Bournemouth, we knew that we needed to find a drummer. So held some auditions and found Giacomo and thought that he'd fit somewhat well. His fiery personality definitely shone through on the first day. And we were playing as a slightly different lineup up until recently, until the start of this year, really. And then, as I say, Alex joined the band in September, but we knew Alex from before. She recorded on one of our tracks, which was called Apologies, previous to that. That's how we met her, through Jack. And then when we needed a bassist, we hit her up, said, do you fancy, joining the band? And luckily she said yes. So we are now this outfit, this quartet, if you will.
So you had a different bass player before?
Yeah, we did
Okay.
previously. We had a different bass player. And then now we've got Alex, the other bass player, decided to go and do some solo projects and stuff like that. So we support him for that. But it means that we had someone that at least we had worked with Alex before. So we were confident that she would fit the band well. So, and I'm the front man, the singer and guitarist of the band.
Okay, cool. And you're Josh?
Josh, yeah.
Josh, okay. And now this is Tom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm getting the names down.
I play lead guitar, just general lead guitar. I do backing vocals as well. Josh said a lot of the stuff that I would have said as well. So I play lead guitar. I do a few backup vocals as well. Josh and I, as he says, came from the same little town. We've been playing music together for quite a long time now. and it's just developing further and further. And now things are really starting to get into good motion. We've got what we believe is like just the right lineup. It's just everybody's on the same page and putting out really good music together. And we're just, I think we're pretty strong. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you definitely are. You know, I just in preparation, I listened to the song why I contacted you, why I found you. Apologies, and this is really like, wow, this is kind of, whew, you know, this is kind of. You kept it short and brief, but this for me sounds like this is, you know, you're not falling from the sky. You know, there's some way to get there. You know, it's not. You don't just start a band and be at this level. It's really great lyrics, great voice, music. I mean, you know, I love the song. It's a really cool song, and the reason why we talk. So, but on the other hand, if I look at it, there is because. You know, what kind of jives with me right now is you said that there is you made music for a long time now, but I only see like 3 songs out there, and so you know, can you explain it with a little bit that you kind of needed time to find your voice or your way to work together?
Yeah.
What was the issue?
We originally, myself and Tom, we were living in Plymouth in Devon, and we recorded ourselves a small selection of songs to put into a kind of EP called Paradox Part 1, and that's what sort of got us into some form of got some attention, some ground, because we were, you know, gigging around the local area with that EP.
So just the two of you, just
no, the two of us wrote it, but we had a lineup at the time.
Okay.
It was constantly changing, obviously, as people left and joined university. We had different drummers, different basses.
Okay.
And when we moved up to Bournemouth, we knew that we had these songs in the back burner. They were on our Spotify and all of our social medias that you could have, and we had physical copies of them. However, as we started to develop, especially when we got Alex on board and Giacomo, we decided that our sound had progressed so much so and had evolved that we didn't want to be held back by the previous stuff. Because I say, it was recorded by ourselves. We didn't really know what we were doing. It wasn't the best of our abilities. So for someone like yourself to stumble upon us and then see our songs and then go back through our catalogue and find these older songs was sometimes good, but sometimes detrimental to our progress. So we were advised by lots of people in the industry to remove them, to keep them on the back burner, to maybe re-record them and release them in the future, or just to use them at gigs for the hardcore old fans of the band. But we feel like our sound has progressed so much so that they don't accurately represent the style of the band now or the current lineup. So the 3 songs that are on there are definitely the strongest songs we've created so far. And they are the newer ones and the ones that we think do demonstrate what we can do, rather than the older ones. So we did have some older songs that were there, and that's how, as they say, you don't know what's going on in the background, and some people could stumble upon our work and go, oh, they've just popped out of nowhere, but there has been a long process to get to that point, but we've just chosen to hide it a little bit.
Okay, no, that's absolutely fine, and I can, in a way, as you said, Alex was already playing on Apologies, so so she was already involved in there, and I completely get it because, I'm not want to talk about me, but the same thing. I have a lot of not so good songs out there, and I should kind of hide them. And so you did the right thing, because now only the people find your stuff. Did you kind of did you contact any labels to get some more distribution, or some more help with promotion or something?
We haven't actually been in touch with any labels ourselves. We haven't pushed for anything, we haven't reached out. Everything that's been achieved really has been done by ourselves. We've ran all of our PR campaigns ourselves and really pushed everything with just word of mouth. We've used Facebook as quite a good marketing platform, as well as Spotify, things like that. We've been added to a nice collection of playlists. We're sort of hoping to hopefully have some sort of label at some point, but we're not really in a rush to get signed onto a label if we can be. I mean, I'd love to be signed, but we're not in a rush to do it right now because we quite like having our own freedom to do our own thing.
We recently signed a management contract, which was good, which what we needed. We felt like we needed someone to help us steer the Capulus boat in the right direction, someone who's had experience. So we signed a management deal with a person that we've known for a while, and then through that we've got a sort of a PR deal as well, and so we're just working currently with our new management and our PR guy to promote our new songs and stuff like that. We don't need a label at them. We don't feel like we're in a position whereby we need a label. Obviously there's like this stigma around if you've got a label you're going to get like everywhere in life, but we know that there's a lot of pros and cons.
Things have changed. No, I'm with you here. So I mean, I am a radio DJ as well, so sometimes it helps a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't really matter. I mean, if a song is good and you send it to somewhere, it usually gets picked up. But sometimes it helps if you have some more force behind it, that people push it a little bit. I mean, where I can see in this day and age, where everyone can do music on their cell phones and stuff, sometimes you're kind of flooded with subpar music, let's put it nicely, and so you have to sift through a lot of things. So sometimes it helps if there's a approval stamp kind of a label, it elevates the thing from the get-go. But I'm whatever works for you, and at the moment we're in this strange situation anyway. I call it the world is put on pause. Everything is kind of standstill. And as far as I saw in your biography, you kind of use the time to work on your first album, on your first real album, or is it?
Yeah, first EP. First real EP. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so how long are you there?
So we actually have just come back from the studio this afternoon.
Cool.
We've got a whole week in the studio this week. So we literally have that's why we're all here in the same rooms, because we've just driven everyone back. But we've got a strong EP that we're looking to bring out next year, early next year. As I say, we're in the studio at the minute recording it. Giacomo's just done most of the drum parts for most of the songs today. There's a lot of bits and bobs that are going into it. As I say, it was something that was pushed again by our management to take this opportunity and look at it in a different way. The fact that we've not got gigs going on, we need to produce some sort of music that we can then jump straight out of this lockdown and COVID situation with. So we're working on that literally as we speak. We're back there tomorrow again, and it's going to be a good experience for us all. We find that when we're in the studio, it makes us tighter as a band as well, playing live, because you get to know the tracks inside out, upside down. So it's one of those things whereby we're gonna come out of this, whole situation much stronger as a band, and get ready to take on the new year with a brand new set of songs and really bring it to people. Yeah.
Take it by the horns, No, but so you're recording them live, or no? You record the single tracks, right? Because Giacomo is doing this. Yeah, this. So had you any before the lockdown, before the pandemic? Did you have any gigs already together as this outfit, or was it just as the pandemic started?
No, not with Alex on board. As I say, the lockdown sort of proved it was a strange time for everybody, because it was like a stagnant period. So before that, as I say, Alex joined in September. However, we did, between the two lockdowns, on Halloween this year, have a gig, and it was Alex's first live gig. that was incredible fun to be able to go back for this the night straight after the night straight after second lockdown occurred. So it wasn't so good, but at least we got one in.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's strange times, so we don't need to dwell on it because we're all in. We're in Germany here, where I am. We are in a soft lockdown, but it's kind of really silly because we should maybe make a real lockdown because it doesn't really accomplish anything. It just annoys people. So anyway, but let's not. It's something we cannot change. Yeah, exactly. So you are okay. This is one of a question where you can just gloss over if you don't want to talk about it. But from my outside perception, I don't think you can live from your music yet, right? As far as I can tell. So you all have other jobs as well too, and you get through this. So this is not an issue for you at the moment, right? Okay, so it's at the moment it's still kind of hobby-ish, the music.
Yeah, we I think we all are in the same mind frame that we use our jobs to support and pay for our passion. So we do what we have to do to be able to spend weeks in the studio and stuff like that. So obviously, we want it to be our full-time jobs, and one day I'm sure it will be because we've got the drive to do it. So.
And I can clearly, I mean, for me, this is this apologies. This is like a stadium stomper. It's kind of like this needs to be, 40,000 people or something. This is a big thing. This will be. I don't know. I wouldn't know what kind of. I mean, everything is where to make it there. But of course, as you know, there's a lot of other musicians out there and in bands and stuff. So it's also a portion of luck to get to a greater degree. But I wouldn't know why you shouldn't make it. So you said, the old stuff you had, you kind of scrapped, and you will reissue or reimagine and make new, basically. So now you got some help in the studio, I guess, with a technician who mixes your things and helps you to get this more right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we work with we're currently recording the EP a studio called HP Studios that's based in a little town called Ringwood. The guy who runs it is called Harrison. He's really, really talented. Today we were working with one of the people who is employed at HP, who's actually with quite a big band called The Answer. They've toured with the bands like AC/DC and Alter Bridge. And Mickey was looking after us in the studio today. He's the bassist of The Answer, and he was really giving us some great tips on how to make the song just sound better. He advised us on only little tiny things. He didn't tell us. He didn't change really the sound of the track. He just gave you little pointers that might improve the song, which we took on board because they're really good. It's worked really well. It's just nice having somebody somebody outside of the band to give us tips on how to just round off the actual sound that we're producing. And it is amazing to have somebody obviously who's so he's been in the industry for years now. It's amazing having somebody like that work with us.
Harrison himself, the guy that runs the studio as well, is signed to a lot of different writing and record labels. He's currently doing work for a few different companies, and he's got Marshall endorsements and BBC endorsements and stuff like that. So he's a good person to know. And he's a very talented musician himself. So we're lucky to be in a spot whereby we can have these people as a resource to draw some form of knowledge out of them, and anything. We're always open to ideas and stuff because we know we don't know everything. So
it's always good if you're a little bit humble with it. I mean, it's good that you're kind of self-confident enough that you play it and you know, I mean, you need it for the shows, you know, to kind of how you say, persuade, not to that the audience sees, you know, that you are in it, that you're living what you're doing, you know, that you're real. But also on the other hand, you know, you always can be better and always can be enhanced in with something. So this brings me to a question where how do you usually do music together? I mean, now things change. That's I understand that, and like Josh and Tom usually write the music, as far as I understood. But you know, with musicians usually struggle a little bit with when is a song finished, when it's kind of like when is it ready, maybe also to show to others, and so can you just walk me a little bit through your process of how you come up with your musical ideas? I mean, how to work on them. You know, I don't want to. I told you in the beginning, this is not a normal interview. I don't ask you how you get inspiration, because as an artist, everything inspires you. You know, this is a kind of a silly question. Everything, what you see, what you listen to, what surrounds you is an inspiration. But the process would be interesting. How do you do it, and how do you decide now? Okay, this is done, because you always can. Oh, you can add this and you can do that, and you know. So, what is your process on getting to a complete song?
I think what we usually, the way we usually do it would be an idea would pop into somebody's head, be it myself or Tom's head, or maybe, for example, there's one that Alex is starting to work on herself that she brought to the band as well. But an idea will happen.
Sorry, I got a little unicorn here, so okay,
yes,
let's get. I'm talking here. Can you please go? She needs to get ready for bed.
That's okay. Yeah, so sort of like an idea will come into one of our heads, and for example, if it's myself or Tom, we'll usually sit down and really quickly go over it and say, let's just get it down onto, you know, Mixcraft or some form of digital audio workshop, and just record what we can, and then we'll send it out to each member of the band to then do their respective part for it. So, for example, Giacomo will come up with a drum part, or Alex will come up with a bass part, or I'll come up with a vocal melody, and then we will go into a practice room and we'll jam the track together, see if it works. And we're all pretty open to criticism, which is the best thing. And so if something's not working in the guitars, we'll say to each other, let's change that, or let's add this. And then if there's something that we want to specific in the drums, we can say, look, Jack, do something like he never listens. Can
you do something?
He's quite good at bringing what we're trying to envisage to life. And then it's just more about playing the song together.
Mm-hmm.
And as you play the song together, you start to feel what works and what doesn't. And I think, especially for myself and Tom, because we play with each other, we play guitar together for so long, we start to gel quite well, and we know when things are and aren't working. And then not overcomplicate it. We'll go into the studio, we'll track the song, and then again, just taking advice from people. We'll have in our minds post-production stuff that we want to add, whether it be synth work or string work. If we're in the studio and Jack doesn't like a drum part, he'll change it, or we don't like a drum part, change it, or someone else like Mickey today, for example, said just add something like this to change something up, and next minute Giacomo's done that. So
sometimes it happens that you actually change a song a few days before.
Yeah. And then the drummer gets angry.
No, it's actually the drummer that changes it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but it's
it happens. Everyone is helping. We are helping each other. We've got ideas. We just express ourselves, and then we try one thing. We see if it works, if we like it, and then we go ahead with it. If we like it, obviously we need to agree on it. And yeah, that's pretty much how it works. And also the fact that we're working with people that are into the music business quite a long time, and we really use their experiences, and it's a really good thing for us. And I think it's gonna, help us a lot into having a nice product, let's say.
I get it. So this is more like a democratic approach then, that you because sometimes, you know, I talk with a few bands and sometimes it's a little bit like, I'm the leader, you know, and I'm going to tell you this is we're going to do that, and some people have like, okay, this is the song I play, you know, I like, and then I won't like. So you have like a democratic thing that everyone has to like it, and then you play it, or how? If you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer.
I'm quite stubborn sometimes, but
okay, good.
I'm trying to be better at it. But no, 99.9% of the time we'll come to a compromise. Like, rather than both people, you know, it's usually me and Jack that are button heads. But apart from that, but we come to a compromise at the end. And the thing is, if he's not happy with a track or something, or
we don't play it.
Drums, he doesn't like playing it for one. He doesn't show the enthusiasm. He won't be as excited to bring that song out. Therefore, it's detrimental to us. We're all in this financially and the time we put in all together. So, although sometimes I just want to scream and say, "We're doing this, we're doing this," I can't. It's not smart to do it like that. So, I think we're okay. I think we do right.
It wouldn't work that way. It wouldn't work if there was just someone saying. For me, it wouldn't work because everyone has. We all have different experiences in music. Apart from these two guys, they worked a lot together. They write a lot of music. Me and Alex, for example, have a different background in music and different experiences. Also, I'm 10 years older than them, so I've got.
You don't look it. You don't look it. You look good.
It's okay.
I did listen to maybe in the 90s, different kind of metal, different kind of rock, different kind of music, and I've got a different way maybe to listen to certain songs, and they got a more modern approach to music. Like they do listen to a lot more music than I do right now. To be honest with you, I'm guilty of that. Because I'm not really keen to listen to new stuff. I'm really stuck with the music I used to listen, when I was in my 20s, 16, 20s,
So maybe let's stay on the subject, because this is always a fascinating part. I mean, what makes a band usually stand out is kind of that everyone has a different background, of course. You know, everyone comes from a different walk of life, has different taste, and then it joins together and it creates something new, you know? So this is the perfect setting, let's put it this way. There's also butting heads and stuff. So maybe let's stay on the subject. So what is kind of your major, I mean, Giacomo, what is your major influence? What kind of music you are coming from? You know, what was your upbringing? What was your the stuff you liked or like?
Well, let's say that I'd say that till when I was obviously playing before I started playing drums, I didn't really listen to a lot of music because I was still little. So when I was 14 and then I started playing drums, I got into grunge and then directly into metal because all my friends were listening to Soulfly, Sepultura, or Slipknot, System of a Down.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, so Korn and that type of music. So I'm not into like the blast beat type of music, but I did listen to that too. I'd say nu metal is what I used to listen a lot, especially Korn and Slipknot a lot. And Joy Jordison was one of my inspiration in drumming. Obviously, I'm not even gonna compare myself to such big drummer and what he brought to music and metal in particular, because I consider him a really good one of the best drummers it was back then when they came out with their the Slipknot album. And I'd say, that was my Pantera. Those that music was what I did listen a lot. And now I'm more into gent like
Okay.
periphery, and I really like technical stuff, like Animals as Leaders. I've
Hmm.
seen Matt Garska, which is their drummer here in Absolute Music and a music shop. I love drumming in general. I love go and see like session musicians. Like I've seen Benny Grab is a German guy that is one of the best drummers I have never seen, and uh, I loved it when he came here to Southampton. It was a great show. So I like musical, let's say, music nerds of the instrument, because
Hmm.
they develop the instrument in every aspect of it, and I love that. So I like when I also listen to music where it's like focused on the drumming or and experimenting
Of
that
course.
sound.
Okay, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. I have my own opinion here, but yeah, I mean it's good. It's a very technical side of things, but for me, as a listener, this is kind of complicated music. Let's put it this way. And
I know,
when you want to send to me music, there's a little line, and this is what I like. What I like. Don't send me any gent or progressive music. Is the last
oh,
line. So sorry. I'm hearing what you're saying, and I completely get it. It's the technicality is a great
yeah,
thing. Also, like I remember Sepultura, Roots, Bloody Roots, and stuff. It was
yeah,
kind of with just the drumming, and it was great. Yeah, but for me as a person, I like it a little bit more simple. So
all
I'm
right,
I'm a
yeah,
little bit simple-minded, and so I can see why you clash a little bit, because you have more like, without saying that it's a bad thing or so. I like it more like a poppy attitude. More let's say. Without meaning it or demeaning it, it's mainstream. You have like a more mainstream approach, and gent
yeah,
is still a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit mainstream, but not. It's still niche a little bit. It's more for the nerds. And you might be a little drum nerd, and that's absolutely fine. Don't get me wrong. It's just for me, it's too. If I want to enjoy music, I don't listen to gent. Let's put it this way.
Well,
So
I do not listen on a daily basis to Jan.
okay, okay,
I'm
okay.
not that type of nerd.
Yeah, and I completely get it. From a technical point of view, you can learn a lot. I mean, it's of course better to focus yourself on music that kind of is uh, kicks you out of your comfort zone. If you only like
Yeah,
boom, if you only would play AC/DC, then it's kind of how you could do it almost sleeping. But if you really go, I mean, you need to push yourself a little bit, and so this is fine, and then you can bring it into your own music. But see, this is what I wanted to hear, but. Because
yeah,
where the magic usually happens, if you come with this kind of mindset, and then there's other people with others of mindset. Let's maybe stay with a lady. So Alex, what's your kind of musical background? What do you bring to the band, to the table? Where are you coming from?
Okay, so well, my journey in music is started like when I was like a child. So me and Jack, we are mostly same age basically.
Hmm.
So when we were like kids, we had these cassettes, and my father had like really lots of rock music and Led Zeppelin, Europe, Dire Straits, and all these bands.
Hmm.
So he introduced me to this kind of music basically, and like I when I grow up, basically I grow up with this kind of White Snake, these bands and when I start to play guitar when I was like 11, 12 years old, I just concentrate myself basically on learning and discovering these like bands like Metallica and Iron Maiden and then Nirvana. There's been like different phases in my like teenagers years, and then when you grow up, and then you have like lots of different influences basically. But like recently, since I start also my solo project, I mean, you just start to see things differently. Like you don't have to focus just in one music style. You just need to be open to everything basically, because everything can give you like an input to develop an idea, and like just one thing, just take another thing, and you have basically.
So like genre mixing or something that.
Yeah, exactly. Like for example, one day I can go for let's say Muse, and next day I might like Sam Smith's song, for example. Or one day I can go for Guano Apes, and the other one I can go for Daughter, or like, it's just like.
Guano Apes,
one day I can
a German band.
Italian.
Even gent, yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. No, I think it's important to be like mentally open to everything, because I mean you need it.
Yeah,
if
no,
you are a
and
musician,
this is
you need it.
exactly, and in a band context, you need it even more, because what I always find fascinating in bands that work well is kind of that, that's why I'm asking you with your background. You bring it all to the table, and you come from different walks of life and different things you like, and then you make something new. Because even if Giacomo has to play a little bit more straighter drums, you still can fit in some other things in there that makes it more distinctive. And so the same with bass. I mean. I'm a bass player too, so I know there's not much you can do, but there's a little bit you can do, and just the little bit can also bring it to another level. So, this is kind of always the fascinating thing that you kind of put it in a big bowl, and then something new comes out of it. So let's talk with Josh, and so what is kind of your idols, or what is your your music, what you like to listen to?
Well, when I started out my musical journey, I used to be in a barbershop chorus. So
really?
My granddad used to. My granddad is still like the musical director of two barbershop choruses here back in Devon. And,
I thought this is like more an American thing, also barbershop
it is
quartets
quite an American thing, but it made its way over in like the mid 50s to the UK. And when I was 8, I was performing on stages in front of thousands of people all around the world, because we went around and did competitions and stuff like that. So that's where I started my musical journey. Went to places like Amsterdam, and they did a tour of the US and stuff like that. So it's where I sort of started from. And then I remember my dad, who was in the chorus as well, when I was probably about 13 or something, playing me some Alice Cooper and Meatloaf in the kitchen. And my mind sort of just exploded a little bit. And especially at that time, you're so like you get influenced really easily. And so next thing for that Christmas, I wanted an electric guitar, and I started. My parents bought me a little starter kit from Toys R Us with a 3/4 length electric guitar and a 10-watt amp and a pick set and a Strat, whatever. And from there I started picking up, going down that sort of rock route, and I discovered Slash and Guns N' Roses, and that was my bread and butter for years. I just listened to all of Slash's projects, Velvet Revolver, his own solo stuff, and then I sort of from that's when myself and Tom started meeting because of a mutual love for the guitar. And that's when I was about, when we were about 14, 15, we originally hated each other. And then we found this mutual thing to bring us together. So we'd go over to his house. We meant to be in school. We'd go to his house, drink Irish coffees and play guitar. And that's where it sort of started, my whole musical journey. And then from there, I just fell down this huge rabbit hole of different genres within the rock metal world. And I was following, I started listening to Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera, people like that. And then I was really into harmonies, obviously from my previous lifetime of the Alpha Shop. So I started getting into bands like Mastodon, where they had like the 3 vocals and stuff like that, and it would blow my mind, stuff like that. And my musical background makes me want to add harmonies and different vocal techniques to our band and stuff like that. So I guess in more recent years, listening to bands such as Alter Bridge, people like that, Miles Kennedy's got an incredible voice. I look at frontmen as my idols, people that can sing and play guitar, and definitely Miles Kennedy's one of them. But other bands in more of the modern era, sort of like Bring Me the Horizon, I like their stuff previously, but as they're coming into the more mainstream stuff, I'm starting to see doors open up for bands like ourselves, because especially here in the UK, people like Bring Me the Horizon, Youngblood are bringing, Machine Gun Kelly in fact, are bringing rock music, pop punk music and metal music into the mainstream, which is meaning that these fans of these people that originally would be only fans of, I don't know, Taylor Swift or whatever, start to trickle down to us. So my inspiration it's sort of evolving over time, but I still have that like deep rooted, harmonized, I even love musical theatre and stuff like that, just some of the stuff like that, and opera. It's a big melting pot, just my own genre of taste, and folk music. I was a big folk fan. I used to have a folk album out when I was younger, as a solo project. So it is just a big sandwich of music genres that means that I like pretty much everything except gent.
Good. You're my kind of guy. Yeah, no. I mean, gent is kind of, for me, I really cannot deal with jazz, and gent is for me the hardcore version of jazz. It's kind of like every 7 seconds you change the rhythm, and it's, for me, it's kind of like a posing music. Like, you show me what you can do, and this is annoying because I know that you're good because you can do that, and 7, 8, and whatever, all these strange signatures, and it's cool, but it's not. I mean, I cannot enjoy it. It's more like if you wanna if you have like how you call this sessions where you take I don't know the word now. Where you want to show off what you can do, when you do go to a new band and you want to show then it's perfect for that, kind of you can do all this, but in a normal song it kind of kills the mood for me, So I mean, if there might be a space where it works also, but usually, and I get from what I heard from your musical output so far, is the music. It has to fit the song, Sometimes you can put in too much and you can kill it, or sometimes it's better to hold back and not show in every song that the lead guitarist, that you can play really solos well, and because then it's like, okay, now comes the solo, and it's kind of so, it comes so predictable, and anyway, this is just my point of view. So don't get it wrong, Giacomo. Gent is cool, but not for everyone.
I think that plenty of gent songs are really listenable on stage. Like Tesseract or like Periphery as well. For me, I can just headbang with them. Like
in the right sequence. No, and it's fine. Each to its own, I don't, that's absolutely, this is the cool thing with music as I see it. Music is a big green pasture, a green, and you can go in every direction, and there is no wrong or right. It's just what you like and what you don't like. And who am I to say, this R&B song is crap just because I don't like it? I don't like to listen to this stuff. And you're absolutely right, Giacomo. If I would listen more to gent, I would also find something what I will appreciate. It's just, I kind of shut it out because there's so much music out there, and I have, only 24 hours per day like everyone else. So I kind of need to be a little bit more diligent with the time I spend. Yeah. So I'm really looking more into what I like. And of course, there's possibilities that I like a rap song and stuff. It happened, but I'm not going out, to find exactly this one in the 100 crappy songs I don't like. So, I mean, not Gent. Gent is good.
Gent is good.
So I will just go to Tom so that he can also say what he likes. But I think you're quite close with Josh, right?
Josh and I are very similar. Yeah. I didn't sing when I was a kid. No, my dad's probably influenced my music when I was younger. Like I used to listen to quite a lot of punk and ska music, like music that makes you move and bounce around.
Mm-hmm.
And then I discovered Slayer, which kind of just changed everything for me. That was like
Slayer.
Everything was just that kind of led me down a path of going really, really heavy. Like I was really into like some of the bands from the 90s, like Death. You know Death with Chuck and all that sort of stuff. So like technical death metal, but I've kind of also steered over towards like the melodic side of things. Like Avenged Sevenfold are probably my biggest influence for me myself. Just Sinister Gates guitar playing is just inspirational. Like constantly, it's inspirational music because it's so like melodic to the ear whilst being like colourful and just flowing, and there's just so many things going on, yet it's still enjoyable. It's not one of these things where he's just going you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is kind of like the Gent equivalent, if you just show off what you can do. No, it's just kind of like, it sometimes kills the song, if you just like, I saw bands who have really good guitar players, and then they make a 5-minute solo and people leave, and because he's good, but it's kind of too long. It's it's kind of missing the mark. If it's just a little bit, you can show it, and but it's Anyway.
Boring sometimes.
Pardon me?
It's boring sometimes. If you see like the guitar player doing the same thing in each song, it's gonna be like, wow.
Yeah, now comes the solo. Okay, let's get a beer.
Yeah.
Let's go to the bathroom because we know what's going on for the next 2 minutes here. Exactly. So and then this is also, music needs to be engaging and exciting. If it's too predictable, it's a balance. A little bit predictable is fine, because when we come to the Gent thing, if you kind of change all the time, then this is too much for me. But if you don't change at all, and I know from the beginning of a song how it will end, then it's also a little bit. You need to find the balance here. So. So thank you all for sharing. Josh said something that the things what kind of I just wrote down. So do you think of making any collaborations with other artists? Because this is kind of what we talked about earlier to I think you said like to get their fans as well or so. And the easiest way to kind of cross over to other things is make a collaboration with them, that they mix something of yours, or you mix something, kind of goes both ways, or make a split EP or whatever. If it's still a thing today, I'm sometimes not really sure. But is there anything on the horizon that you do something? Did you reach out to other artists for that?
Nothing of yet. Obviously, we collaborated with Alex.
Can you come a little bit forward? Sorry.
We've not got anything of yet in the pipeline for collaboration projects. I mean, we collaborated with Alex previously, obviously on Apologies, but then she then joined the band. So that was really good. In terms of something, I think that collaboration is definitely one way to go. 100%. It is really useful, and I think when we come to record an album after this EP, it'll be something that we look at 2 or 3 tracks to have a collaboration with. And there are a lot of bands around here that we'd like to have, vocalist, guitarist, whatever it is from, just do a feature, or, not necessarily in our style either. It depends. It's one of those things whereby there's so much choice as well that sometimes don't really know yet. But I think when we write the songs, we'll know what band or what artist or what genre would fit, and then it's about finding that band. And as I say, collaboration is always a good tool for bringing fans over from different genres or the same genre but just different bands and stuff. So there is things out there that we could do. There are people that we will get in contact with, I think, in the future, but just not at the moment on this EP. I think this one needs to demonstrate who we are now as a new outfit. Something that I think fans of the band will want to see is this fresh new music. I think if we were to add anyone else into it at this point, it might get a little bit confusing, especially because we have just got Alex on board as well. So it will be something that we have in the future, 100%.
Yeah, I get it. You at the moment you're kind of finding your own voice or your own sound at this time, and once you got it, then you can kind of also mix others artists in, and then the people will know this is the new thing and stuff. Absolutely good approach. So we are nearing the 1 hour mark, and usually, maybe this is mostly for Josh because he has the most experience here. One of the things I always like to ask is a little bit, did you have okay, I have two questions actually. What is the funniest tour antics you can tell? Is there something what happened as you were on stage, before stage, or something as you were touring? Some mishaps, some funny stuff. I mean, keep it PG-13 if possible. Was there something what happened there? And the other thing is like, kind of tying in, was there any starstruck moment? Did you share the stage with somebody you really admired, or where you were like, oh wow, I never thought I would play with this person or persons? So do you have some stories you want to share there, or if you don't, that's fine as well.
In terms of like funny tour stories, I mean, we went for we went to a gig. I can't believe that must have been a few months ago. When did we go to London to do that gig?
Yeah,
went to February. We went to London to do a gig, and we were filming like our way up in the van, and we have this this plastic skeleton that's our little mascot called Cecil. We got him last Halloween, and he has been us, thing ever since. And I was holding Cecil on the camera on a live stream on the motorway, and I had him hanging out the window, and the next minute all I see is something fall off and start and bounce over the car in the back, and we looked around. I thought it was part of Cecil, but it actually hit with Cecil off. A part of the van had come off. I managed to take it on one of the windows. There was like a plastic sheet thing that was protecting like the window from the rain or something, and as I put Cecil out the window on live stream to all of our Facebook and Instagram fans, I nearly caused a collision, which was bit scary. I had to stop the stream straight away and make sure everything was okay, but it was all good.
Cecil was fine. Cecil was fine.
Cecil was fine. I mean, he has lost many a limb. He is now just a head torso. There's no arms or legs left on him because he does get chucked out into the audience and people tend to rip him apart. But I guess that's probably one of the. Cecil. Yeah, I know, poor guy. That and I was once on stage back in Plymouth, and we were playing, and one of the people in the crowd tried to steal my guitar whilst it was on me whilst I was playing a solo. So that was interesting as well. Yeah, tried taking it out of my hands. I think they were just excited. But yeah, that's pretty much that. In terms of starstruck, I think when we recorded our recent single, which came out a couple of days ago, called All That I Am, it was between the time where we lost our previous bassist and had Alex. So we were looking for some form of someone to help us out, and Harrison had a contact who was Leighton Allen, who's the bassist for a big band here in the UK called the Hoosiers. And when we were, especially when myself and Tom were young, a couple of their songs were very big in the charts and around school kids and whatever. They knew him a lot, so to have him on a song with us in the studio and to with him was one of those moments where I was like, wow, okay, that is pretty cool. To be able to say that we've got that, it was definitely something that I wanted every one of my old school friends to know. So I posted a lot about it. I'm jealous. But yeah, that was probably the the closest we've been so far, as I say, that or we did a gig we went to a gig before lockdown. A band called Shapes were playing, and the frontman for Shapes is the son of Bruce Dickinson, Griffin Dickinson, and we went upstairs and were having a drink, and he came up and we shouted. It was like, Griffin, and he came over and he sat with us for a bit. And so to be that close to something that was that close to Bruce Dickinson was something that was incredible as well. And he was a cool guy.
Cool. I wanted to say something, but I forgot. Anyway, any other one to share in with a starstruck or funny antics moment? If not, I can ask something else.
Any starstruck moments?
No, I can't think about anything at the moment.
Okay, then it's fine. Tom, something to add or not?
Josh, pretty much every show. I think when no, I think there's been a few moments when obviously you're playing a great show where there's audience participation, where everybody's really moving, and then somebody jumps up on stage with you and starts jumping around with you. That's always good. We had a few shows like that back in Plymouth in a venue called the Underground. Great venue, and it was it's such a small, narrow area to play in, and the audience is right up in your grill, so right up close, and you had people falling onto the stage, coming on up stage with you. It was just so much fun. Starstruck was definitely working with Leighton on the new track, All That I Am. That was just amazing. It's kind of been fun. I couldn't think of something like that, but obviously when I was a kid, it's not something I would have ever thought would have happened. So it's just amazing, and hopefully we have a few more moments like that coming up. I think.
Yeah, I think so. I told you in the beginning, and this is my true, honest opinion. I think you will go places because it's great stuff, and it has stadium potential. So as far as what do I know? I'm just one person, but I found you through your music, and I want you to get to know you. So this is all, as I see it, little steps. I'm a micro influencer. I'm a nobody, but you are here now, and then there will other people you talk to, and so I'm pretty sure if you have a drive, and you all seem to have a drive, you will get to places. It's who knows, you might not be that big, but at least you tried. Because from my I'm a little bit older, so the thing I know, you only regret what you didn't do. So you try your hardest now to get somewhere, and this is all that counts. Because if you don't do that, and you're then 60 or 70 and look back at your life, back then I was in this cool band and I could have done something, and then you didn't do it because it was so tough and I didn't feel like it, and I had to tour and I had to do it. There's thousand things you can say against it, but there's only one thing to do it. Just do it, and then you see where you land. And other people just sit at home and watch Netflix and play video games, and you are in the studio working your ass off and getting advice from really cool guys to make the best music you ever did. So this is all what it takes. This is what you need. This brings me to another thing. I just checked your artwork, and you said before you kind of like a self-made at the moment, or did you get some help with your artwork for your singles?
By our most of them was all done by our friend back in Devon called Joel Tucker. He's a great graphic designer. He does it on the side as a thing for us, and he did our new music video as well for the song All That I Am, and he's just a talent that is that we're so lucky to be able to use. He loves doing what he does. He's only very select with what he actually does. He loves two things, which is Capulus music and motorcycles, and if he's not filming motorcycle stunts, he'll be filming us or doing artwork for us, and he just literally works his ass off for but for us. And he doesn't expect anything. He'll come up here. He came up here to record. We did a live version of Resist, one of our songs, and he came up here and recorded us playing that live as well. And he just will come up here and he'll bed down, on the floor, and he will not complain. He'll just film it, and then he'll go home and he'll spend tens of hours just editing and doing stuff for us. And literally, obviously he doesn't expect anything from it. We obviously pay him and stuff like that, but he would never ask for anything. We do it because we know how much someone like that is worth in if he was to do it for a living. But he just is happy doing our stuff, which is incredible to have someone like that on board.
Absolutely.
He's been a friend of ours, mine and Tom's for years, and he's a really good guy. So yeah, he's the guy that does most of the artwork for us.
Okay, so you already answered my next question I had. Videos. I have to admit I didn't look for them before I started talking with you. So, but there are videos out there for some of the songs.
Yeah, so there's a lyric video that was done by our previous bassist for Apologies that's out on our YouTube channel. Resist, we've got a live music video, that's shot similar style to a Foo Fighters one in a big white room, performance video again with previous bassist. And the All That I Am music video, which is our newest song, was recorded during lockdown by ourselves individually on our phones, and then edited together by our friend Joel, who did that. The Resist music video was shot by Rachel from HP Music. We were on a artist development program with them when we first started, and that was part of it. You get a specific amount of hours that you can use for photo shoots, video shoots, and she's brilliant, and she's done a couple photos for us as well, but recently, and edits them, and it's just such professional work. And it's so nice to be able to have that in our back pocket, and to know that we've got those people that can help us out. And without people like that, and without support from people like that, we wouldn't be anywhere near where we are today, and it would make it much harder to get our content out, because obviously now it looks much more professional.
Yeah, absolutely. That's I talk with a lot of bands, and this is kind of a struggle for all of them, of course. Even if you make a very good product, like Giacomo said before, it's still tough to get it to the right people, as I can attest as a DJ, because there's so much crap out there, to sift through all the garbage and find the diamonds. It's not that easy all the time. So yeah, it's good if you have quality content that goes along with it, And here I have to apologize. My apologies to not have checked your videos, but I will do this later on and see, because it sounds interesting with the cell phone made video. It's kind of.
I guarantee you won't think it's been made by a cell phone. I'll tell you that.
Really? Okay. I thought you especially did it like cell phone like, that it kind of looks a little bit more.
It's a kind
style.
of like I don't know if you know the song "Take on Me" by Aha.
Of course. Hey,
yes.
You know how old I am. Yes, I was young and I loved it.
That sketch style of music video is very simple. It's what we took a lot of our inspiration.
Oh wow! Now I'm more intrigued. I might even link to it in this video description here. So thank you very much. I'm kind of through with all the things I wanted to know. Thank you for your openness.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. If you want, you can. Usually I open up when you want to say something to the world. What can we expect from? I mean, we already talked about that you're working on the new EP, and once this whole pandemic is over, you want to come out swinging and hit the stage hard. Is there something already scheduled? Is there something kind of for end of 2021 already set up, or will it just come once?
We've got a couple gigs lined up in the pipeline for May next year. As I say, the new EP that we're recording now will be released. We're looking at the end of April, and that will come with, obviously we'll be doing individual some singles from that will be coming after the new year. But for the time being, if people want to learn more about us, we've got our own website, which is www.capulusofficial.co.uk.
I will link to it in the description.
And Facebook as well. And as I say, our new single that I Am has just been dropped on all the streaming platforms, as well as a music video on our YouTube. You can find performance videos on there, on our YouTube, as well as music videos. So if people want to keep in the loop with Capulus, then come follow us over on our social medias. Feel free to drop us a message or anything if you watched this podcast. And yeah.
See, I have a last question.
Go ahead.
Capulus.
Yes.
The name Capulus. I think you never heard this question before. So if you want to talk, if you don't want to talk about it, fine. But can you give me a little background of Capulus, where the name comes from, what it stands for, or
it's
if you want?
It's a really cool and interesting story. Well,
Please do tell.
Myself and Tom knew that we wanted a band, and we probably spent a year looking for a name for a band. We went through loads of different options, and so we were just out shopping one day, went to a coffee shop, sat down together, looked over to the wall, and there on the wall it said Capulus, which is the Latin for coffee, and we went, that'll do. So that one, we thought everyone loves coffee. Everyone will love Capulus.
I read it somewhere. I think on your Twitter or somewhere where I connected with you. Where everyone was even Capulus is coffee or something.
Yeah.
Somewhere. So it's so easy.
It's not as cool as some band names, but it's different.
But it sounds cool. It sounds cool, and as far as I know, today, as I told you, everyone can do music, and it's so hard to find a original name because everything has been taken. You cannot just like a good example is Bring Me the Horizon. If you think like 30 years earlier, nobody would have had such a long name. What for? I mean, but now you need to add things to kind of be stand out, that people find you. And yeah, so Capulus, cool. Thank you for the sharing this. So yeah, thank you for your time. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm really looking forward what you have in store. You have my contacts now, so whenever you bring out something, please hit me up. Because I have a radio show, and I love to play new music. So that's. Okay, would be my pleasure to kind of premiere some of your stuff, or not premiere, but play some of it. So yeah, please keep well and have fun putting some gent into your music.
I will do. I will definitely do.
Just a little bit, a little blast beat gent or something. And yeah, okay. So thank you very much for your time. Have a great evening. And if you have something more to talk about, maybe next year when things are back to normal again, we can reconnect and see, where you will play the big festivals in Europe. Because you're so far away from Europe. Let's see if we still let you in. I don't know. Maybe these two guys, but exactly, but two are Europeans, so maybe we sneak you in and put you in a little bag or so, and get you over there. Okay, so thank you very much, and talk to you later.